Baltimore, like any community, is a reflection of its people, and that is what we have assembled for you this evening. People from throughout Baltimore to share their stories and their reasons for why Baltimore.
I grew up in Bowie and Crofton and moved to Canton in 2001 while getting my master's degree at Towson University. I served in the Marine Corps Reserves and have deployed to Panama, Iraq, and Afghanistan. I worked as an 8th grade social studies teacher before starting my own company, AG Associates, a strategic planning and organizational development firm. I enjoy working with the veteran community and have been able to volunteer for several organizations that support veteran employment. I coach football and work with a lot of amazing kids. I like TFW Baltimore Boot Camp and running along the promenade. I am Baltimore.
My husband and I met at Roanoke College, where we fell in love with craft beer. A 4-month road trip cross-country finally landed us in Maine, where we met Brian Schrumpke, owner of Stillwater Artisanal Ales. We came to Maryland in 2012 to join Brian as co-owners of a restaurant and tasting room, and of Love and Regret was born. I love walking through the small neighborhoods of Baltimore, from Canton to Fells Point, the Inner Harbor, Federal Hill. Every section of Baltimore has a different feel. I am Baltimore.
A 10-year transplant from Oklahoma, I'm a design strategist and a connector. I work for Gensler, a global design firm with an office in downtown Baltimore, working to create a more livable city, smarter workplaces, and engaging destinations. Gensler's provided a platform that allows me to explore my passions, including using design and community engagement to address systemic social issues. That effort has led me to explore many of the fascinating nooks and crannies that Baltimore offers, from Southwest to Station North. It's also helped me tap into the social enterprise and nonprofit communities here, which are absolutely inspiring and set this city apart as a place of incredible passion, heart, and creativity. I am Baltimore.
Before I moved to Baltimore, I lived in Boston, where I taught economics and law at Harvard. Rather than become a professor, I moved to Baltimore to start a business using data to make the labor market work better, and in doing so, reduce bias based on race, gender, socioeconomic background, and a range of other factors. I now run 2 companies headquartered in Baltimore, Catalyst DevWorks and Peg Software, and we employ nearly 300 people. I live in Baltimore City with my wife and my 2 daughters. It's an amazing place to raise a family and to be a data science entrepreneur. I am Baltimore.
I grew up in the suburbs of Columbia. I left for college and the Army, and 10 years later I came back to Maryland from Iraq and found myself unemployed. I took a risk and started veteran compost in Aberdeen with a shovel, the money in my pocket, and no prior business or compost experience. 5 years later, we have more than 20 employees and are the only permanent food scrap compost site in the state. We work with many proud local companies like T. Rowe Price, McCormick, Mom's Market, and the Baltimore Ravens. I'm proud to be able to live and work in such a great place. I am Baltimore.
I grew up in Delaware, graduated from the University of Delaware. After 20 years helping make aircraft more survivable and working at the Army Research Lab in Sikorsky Aircraft, I returned to Harford County and founded Service Engineering Company, a survivability-based system analysis company that has grown to 400 employees. In 2007, I founded Chesapeake Testing, an independent ballistic test lab for personal protective equipment. To accommodate the growth and the need for a large upscale events and conference center in this region, I built and operate the Water's Edge Event Center on the Bush River. I am Baltimore.
I'm from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Go Hawkeyes. I currently work in commercial real estate for Sagamore Development Company, which is working to build an existing and an exciting community that is great in this great city through projects like Breck Beer Hotel, City Garage, and the Sagamore Spirit Whiskey Distillery. I've never been in a place where I've met so many people that are as crazy about their city as I have around Baltimore. The enthusiasm is contagious. I love exploring the ever-changing neighborhoods and that there's something to do every weekend. I admire how involved people are in community here. It is through this culture that it has driven me to love the city and to work passionately to add value to the city. I am Baltimore.
I was born and raised in Baltimore. My sophomore year in high school, I began spending time at the Digital Hub Foundation Tech Center. I showed up there without knowing much about technology, but before long, they challenged me to build a 3D printer. I had no idea how much, but with hard work and perseverance, I figured it out. Since then, I built 4 more printers, taught a dozen other teenagers how to build printers as well, and even presented my work at the White House. I also co-founded 3D Assistants, a geek school for 3D printing, at DHL where I work now. I'm studying biology at CCBC Canesville. Despite what some of the media says, I know Baltimore is a good place with lots of good people and companies. They give lots of great opportunities. I am Baltimore.
I moved here about 15 years ago to get closer to my family, and Baltimore was ideally located. Our Carroll County home is close to everything: the harbor, museums, great food, fantastic friends, and community. As a recovering banker, I launched Cool & Associates to fill a huge gap. We connect organizations to the growing Hispanic segment with marketing support, training, and staffing. I'm happy to say that being in Maryland has afforded me tremendous opportunities, like earning my master's from Loyola and working with nonprofits like Open Society, Big Brothers, and the Maryland Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, all while enjoying world-class culture, food, and entertainment. I love me some Baltimore.
I've lived the majority of my life in Maryland, but in many different communities, including Annapolis, Arnold's, Verona Park, Olney, and Gaithersburg. I grew up boating, crabbing, fishing, hiking, and camping. I currently live in Verona Park. I am CEO of Blackwater Distilling, which I founded in partnership with my brother. Located in Stevensville, Maryland, it is Maryland's first craft distillery and first fully licensed distillery since 1972. We produce Sloop Eddy handcrafted vodka, Sloop Eddy honey vodka, and 2 Pickering Maryland rums. I enjoy Royals games, Civil War history, and shows at the Hippodrome with my daughter. I am Baltimore.
I'm the co-founder and CEO of LifePoint Security. Prior to founding my company, I spent more than 10 years at the NSA as an engineer and a program manager. One of my positions at the NSA was project manager for the counter-IED mission, where my efforts were directly involved in saving the lives of our military men and women overseas. I have a bachelor's degree in computer engineering from the University of Puerto Rico, Mayagüez, and a master's degree in electrical and computer engineering from Johns Hopkins University. I'm originally from Puerto Rico. I grew up in Massachusetts and currently live in Howard County. I volunteer for local animal rescue organizations. I am Baltimore.
I'm a lifelong Maryland resident. I was born and raised in Annapolis and live in Howard County. I love Baltimore for the food, the college lacrosse. I own an agricultural consulting firm and a co-founder of Friends and Farms, a CSA co-op in Howard County. We recognize that the Mid-Atlantic and our own Chesapeake Bay watershed are regions that can produce quality food year-round. So we help farmers in the region grow in a sustainable way. Friends and Farms was founded 4 years ago to provide consumers with a better means to get fresh local food all year round at an affordable price. I am Baltimore.
I moved to Baltimore from Philadelphia with my family in the 1970s during the revitalization of the Inner Harbor. During college and graduate school, I lived in Seattle, Germany, and California, returning to Baltimore in 2007. I'm now the executive director for the Pride of Baltimore. For nearly 4 decades, the Pride of Baltimore and the Pride of Baltimore II have represented the people of Maryland and Baltimore throughout the world. Pride II has traveled more than 250,000 nautical miles to 40 countries and 200 ports. I love the diversity of the people and the communities in Baltimore, the vibrancy of our ports, and the access to nature. I am Baltimore.
The first time I heard about Baltimore was in the early 2000s, thanks to the fact that one of my local baseball heroes, Melvin Mora, signed up for the O's. Who knew that more than a decade later I will be calling Baltimore home? I've lived and worked in Venezuela, Spain, and I'm currently in the process of relocating to Charm City with my company, Insimedia. We are building a photo share network for doctors. I'm an engineer from a place where fancy universities don't exist. I identify myself with Baltimore a lot, and I love this community because it is aware of its challenges and works together, laser focused on changing its reality. I'm really excited to be here today working with talented people and institutions to create the next great American company. I am Baltimore.
I am the owner of the French Twist Cafe in Sykesville, a specialty coffee shop serving a full menu of savory and sweet crepes. I opened my cafe a year and a half ago because I wanted to serve my community and create a place where everyone feels at home. I was born and raised in France, and I moved to the US 19 years ago. I lived in California for 5 years, but Carroll County is my home now, where I live with my husband and our 4 children. It is a great place to raise a family and to do business. I love being tucked away in the country, but just a short drive to the city. I am Baltimore.
I was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but was raised in Swaziland, Africa, where my parents are missionaries. I earned my Bachelor of Science in Nursing from Notre Dame of Maryland University, and now live in Baltimore County. I'm a nurse for Healthcare for the Homeless, a nonprofit that provides healthcare and supportive services to the homeless of Baltimore. I love to run in the city. The city and surrounding areas are beautiful and full of life. Most of all, I love the people. Baltimore is home to some of the most incredible, resilient, and loving people I've ever met. They make Baltimore home. I am Baltimore.
I moved to Baltimore from Philadelphia this year to be the Graduate Program Director in Design Leadership and User Experience Design at MITA. I live in Windsor Mills. My favorite spot in Baltimore is the Inner Harbor. It's absolutely gorgeous on a sunny day. I like the community-oriented, supportive environment here. Baltimore provides an opportunity to pursue my passion for the arts with its amazing museums and music scene. I am an educator, instructor, a model, and a designer. I am Baltimore.
I was born in Cork, Ireland. I am married to a Chilean. While in Ireland, I worked for the Irish government. I'm a marine biologist who developed a brand for seafood that sells today in the United States market. In 2014, I renovated an old building in Elton and opened a pub called Minahan's. I now live in Cecil County with my wife and 5 children, which include a set of twins. I love the country life of Cecil County and its easy access to the city life, and of course the Chesapeake Bay. To me, it is the 33rd county of Ireland. I am Baltimore.
I'm a former professional cross player with the Chesapeake Bay Hawks, and now I make salad dressing. When a neighbor stole my mom's salad dressing, my brothers and I decided to bottle it and sell it to the world. I'm the CEO and oldest brother of Tessie Maison Natural, and we currently sell to 4,500 stores in North America out of our manufacturing facility in Essex, Maryland. My favorite places to eat are Woodbury Kitchen, Cross Street Market. I am Baltimore.
I was born and raised in Baltimore City. I attended Roland Park Middle and Baltimore City College High School. I joined the Intersection in 2011, which is a nonprofit that teaches high school students civic engagement and leadership skills. I've helped pass 2 laws, the Maryland Dream Act and the Firearms Safety Act of 2013, along with a host of different projects that will help better Baltimore. I am currently a student at Coppin State University, where I'm studying early childhood education. I plan to teach in Baltimore and to one day found my own school. I am Baltimore. We are Baltimore.